What's up, everybody? How are you doing? It's Joel and
H. Jones
here for another Mix It Up Reactions. We were doing a tear of Avenged Sevenfold live at the OBC. You didn't do it. Thank you. But and then we decided we were going to do the Nightmare album, like the official audio for the Nightmare album and whatnot, because basically H wants to hear all of these songs so then he can actually listen to them at home and not have to worry about, missing a first time reaction.
Yeah.
But we had someone who said, listen, can you not do the full album back to back to back? Can you throw in some other Avenged Sevenfold songs just to kind of break up the monotony? And I'm like, well, not monotony, because I know you've jammed the album a lot, but the whole idea is that, H hasn't. But I thought it'd be cool if we threw in a song that I actually haven't heard and you haven't heard, because I don't remember M.I.A. at all. Like, again, City of Evil was the first album I listened to, Avenged Sevenfold, but I didn't listen to the entire album all the time. It was like I may have listened to it once or twice, but it was mostly like I was just obsessed with like 3 songs on the album, and I'd play those 3 songs over and over and over and over and over. And it wasn't until the self-titled album that I actually started spinning the entire album. But yeah, so we're going to basically watch Avenged Sevenfold and M.I.A.
Cool.
Or as what some people have said, hey, can you watch the Avenged Sevenfold M.I.A? Like, okay. I think it's M.I.A, but it could be M.I.A. It could be both.
There's a period behind the M.
True, but it could be one of those, not double entendre, but it could be double meaning.
That's M.I.A.
What if it's a song about a girl named Mia who's M.I.A? Ooh, didn't think about that, did you? No,
I was just like, nope, brain is not working fast enough.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. But don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification so you know when new videos are coming out. And also to check out the merch we have coming, whatever noise it makes. And then also we are going to be putting up, I have designed some new stuff.
Ooh.
Some of it is actually from a previous working partner that I was doing stuff with, and I had it in their store, but it just wasn't doing what it was supposed to. It was taking away from their product line. So I brought it to our store. I'm going to tweak it a little bit, play with it a little bit, just so we can have a bunch of new stuff.
Okay.
But we do have the trial and error stuff. We backlined a good 40 or 50. So we're going to start posting those hopefully in the next 2 weeks. That's what I'm trying to do. It's my main objective other than making these videos. Cool. And once we get done with what we're doing with Avenged Sevenfold, then we're going to do a BTS stretch. And I know most of you that have been watching the Avenged Sevenfold, you're going to be like, oh. You don't listen to BTS and you might be upset about that. But this is a channel that literally listens and watches a lot of different stuff, because we want to have playlist options and things like that for people who really want to binge through a bunch of stuff. So yeah, if we had that kind of time where we were making, like if we were monetized and we were making good money and, we'd be able to just do this channel, then we'd be able to throw these videos out consistently and constantly. And you wouldn't have to worry about missing out on a rock reaction or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Eventually we might get down to a format where it's like, Pop Mondays, Rock Wednesdays, or whatever else, something like that. And like do a song from me.
Okay.
But
cool idea.
I don't think we can do that right now. What would be Hip Hop Fridays or Hip Hop Wednesdays? If we did 5 Hip Hop Tuesdays, like if we did a genre every day.
Was there a question in there?
Yeah. If we did a genre every day, like which one would be which? Like you'd have country Thursdays.
What are you talking about if we did 3 days or if we did 5?
Hip Hop Anonymous. Hip Hop. You had to have seen a certain comedic troupe to understand that joke.
Back in the 50s.
No. That was not the 50s. It was the early 2000s.
Oh.
At least I think so. Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, never saw it. Heard of it. Never saw it. It
was a funny first album. Second album was okay. Just ragged on someone. Anyways, but so we're going to be watching Avenged Sevenfold, M.I.A, M.I.A, whatever we want to call it.
M.I.A is M.I.A. That's what we'll call it.
So that's what we're going to be checking out. So I guess just sit back and listen, watch us react to stuff. I've never said that. I should say that more often because that's essentially what we're doing. It's weird to not admit that we're just watching you watch things or watching you listen to things. I don't know. I find it interesting. That's why I started doing these. Holy crap. It's louder than I thought.
Listen.
There we go. I don't know how long this is going to be, so I'm freaking out at like,
Oh, if
I don't want to blast our ears.
I only got one good ear, so please save it.
Staring at the carnage, praying that the sun would never rise. Living another day in disguise. These feelings can't be right. Lend me your courage to stand up and fight. Oh, tonight. Stand up and fight. The fighting rages on and on. To challenge me, you must be strong. I'll walk your land, but don't be long. 2 million soldiers can't be wrong. It's now run, but I've been here before. I'm far from home and I'm fighting your war. Not the way I've been to this, I wanted better things. Some are scared, others killing for fun. I shot a mother right in front of her son. Take us from my consciousness and please erase my dreams. Fight for honor, fight for your life. Pray to God that our side is right. No, we won, I still may lose until I make it home to you. I see your mother's filled with tears. Grew up so fast, where did those years go? Memories won't let you cry unless I don't return tonight. So many soldiers on the other side. I take their lives so they can't take mine. Scared to make it out alive now. Murder's all I know. Nobody tells me all the reasons we're here. I have no weapon, so there's nothing to fear. Another day, another life, but nothing real to shout for. Fight for honor, fight for your life. Pray to God that our side is right. No, we won, I still may lose until I make it home to you. I see your mother's filled with tears. Grew up so fast, where did those years go? Memories won't let you cry unless I don't return tonight. Staring at the carnage, praying that the sun would never rise. Living another day in disguise. These feelings can't be right. Lend me your courage, stand up and fight. Watching the dead don't rise, wondering how I'm alive.
city lonely, memories that are passing by. A murderer walks your streets tonight. Forgive me for my crimes. Don't forget that I was so young, but so scared in the name of God and
That's hard to do on acoustic. I mean, it's electric acoustic because, but it's definitely not electric guitar. Okay. So that is the first time I've ever heard that. That is the most raw I've ever heard them.
And it's not called M.I.A. Whoever said it's M.I.A, it's not M.I.A. It's definitely M.I.A.
They're obviously an idiot. It's obviously M.I.A. because it's definitely
1,000% M.I.A.
So you have those two ends, the beginning and the end, which are kind of like the prologue, then telling the story of what happened and then what you became. That's kind of like the idea of it. And it's funny that the perspective at the end was that I'm a killer on these streets, admitting that basically he's not stating, at least I don't know exactly what the story behind it is, but he's not stating that, he started murdering people when he came back. He's stating that he still has those feelings like, God, what have I done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The nightmares.
And I have had many friends in the military, and that is a very easy consensus. There's a lot of people who will, break it off as God and country. I'm protecting God and country, my family, blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of what they use as their excuse to justify the actions in which they take. But then there are people who are more sensitive to the other, which I totally get that because, like, for me, even as a kid, like I had to fight occasionally, like pop someone in the nose or dislocate a shoulder if I saw this one dude was trying to beat his girlfriend. But I've seen and done that stuff. But I still, even though it might have been the crappiest human on the earth, I still felt bad about hurting someone else. Like when someone would get under my skin enough for me to actually, which didn't happen that often. And it was mainly people who were friends. That's the only people who can really get under my skin. Yeah. And I would then go for the legs. I'd cut the legs out from underneath them, usually take something that, no one would mention or talk about, like mooch, like being a mooch or something like that. And I would just be the most cutthroat, clever person and say the most messed up thing I could say immediately when I say it. And I look at their face and they're like a grown man about to cry. I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like I felt like you did when you were a kid and you did something wrong and you realized instantly you did something wrong and you had that immediate fear of, oh my God, please don't tell my mom. Like, no, don't cry. Stop crying. Like that.
She's coming.
Yeah. I don't have a mom that I'm having to worry about, but I still feel that way. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to actively hurt someone. I don't want someone to feel pain. I don't want to be a cause of that. Now, I understand like the logic of the song and everything else. So I honestly think it's a great song. Now, musically, it's very raw. Mm-hmm. It was almost like they recorded it different from Backcountry and other songs like that. Like it may have been mastered on a different album, or maybe it was a previous song they wrote on a different album and re-recorded it quickly or something. I don't know. There's definitely more raw in the mix. And you can tell their evolution, though. Could you not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there are parts of, turn that off too. Can you please?
Just open it.
Just open it and turn the power button off. It's on the left. Far left. God only knows mixing this how this is gonna be. Joel, idiot. Anyways, but I shouldn't have stopped recording. I could have just cut it. Now it's gonna be a pain in the ass to do all that. But
Yep.
no, it's kind of funny. Sorry, I zoned out. It said 1 minute, and I was like, "Wait, what happened to the other? It should be 20 minutes." Yeah, okay, I'm an idiot. But yeah, like it's very raw. You can tell their evolution. Like it's just there are certain parts in the way he sings stuff, you know, where it's like, oh, that's definitely sounds like this song. That sounds a little bit like the hook on this song. That sounds a little bit like you can see their evolutionary track as they're going through it. That's why I can't wait to like listen to some of the stage now because I want to see where it's ended or at least where it's ended
going
recently.
Yeah.
But what'd you think about it?
Well, even as you were saying, just how it was recorded, I noticed he was singing different parts differently. Like his voice actually sounded different. There was one part where I think he's
other
kind
than
of
other singers in the band doing stuff.
I think there was one part where he's more remorseful in the text of just like, Jam, like, what did we do? And when you hear him sing, it almost sounds like he's weeping as he sings.
Yeah.
Because I'm listening, I'm like, okay, why is his voice sounding like that? And then I'm looking at the lyrics, I'm like, oh, he's kind of like crying, like, damn, why did we
emulating
do this? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
the feeling and the emotion of it.
Mm-hmm. And then they have like the chorus part. I think that for me is almost like, okay, well, you know, we're leading up to the war, we go into it, and the chorus is like the funeral procession because M.I.A, right? Somebody didn't come back, you know, and then at the end, when they're doing that more acoustic feel, it's like you're sitting on your porch just kind of reminiscing of shit that happened
and wondering
30,
what the
40
hell
years
happened.
ago.
Yeah.
So it's a great progression through the song, musically and textually.
What about the solos? Because there was like 3 or 4 different spots. I mean, they were pretty epic. Like, I kind of want to know which one, because there was a couple solos that didn't have harmonics or harmonies in it per se. But I want to know if maybe it was dual solo, like both took on a moment of doing lead, like Zachy or Sinister. So I'm wondering which one was which. I think I kind of know, but I'm curious if you guys could let us know, because I think there was 1, 2, 3 spots where there was soloing parts. I'd like to know which one was which, because it sounded like 1 and 2 were one of each of them, and the other one was doing support up for the other during that moment, and then the third one was like the longer one, which had both of them doing harmonics and things like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a very interesting song. It's got a powerful message in it because it's not the atypical message when it comes to anything military. It's not either anti-military or pro-military. It's kind of like honest military.
Yeah. Like
honest stories of what could happen, what will happen, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Even that part where he says, we pray to God that our side is right.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, because you're just shooting bullets and like, is this what we're supposed to be doing?
Following orders. And God only knows what people made the decision to go there, if they made it in a right case or they were just doing it for, you know, purpose of control, power, or greed. And it's hard. Honestly, if I was in the military, I'd have a hard time taking like a tour, like wondering, where am I going to be put? Am I going to be put in just the worst place where I'm going to end up doing the most damage? Like, I'd worry about that, you know, if I didn't believe exactly what was going on. And I get the breakdown of that if there was a breakdown of hierarchy, that would be an issue. It would be a huge issue. I mean, it's really kind of hard pressed if you look through history. How many armies have decided not to fight because their leader was doing something improper? Like, so, I mean, I'm curious. I don't even know if there's even an instance in American history where, you know, somebody was like, nah, I ain't doing that. I would kind of be curious to know. Any historians of American history, please let us know. Like maybe some instances where an army was like, no, I'm not doing that. Because I mean, you have to look at something like Custer's Last Stand and wonder, did his boys go, we shouldn't be doing this? Like, did they say that beforehand? Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, it's a great song. I really enjoyed it. It's very raw. It honestly feels like it came from an album 1 or 2 before City of Evil. Mm-hmm. Really, it feels like something that was more like their foundation, you know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I like that it's as you said, it's a different perspective on a military song. Yeah.
It's a very different perspective. Because again, with all the stuff we've heard so far, it sounds like more atypical military, pro family, This was a very honest take.
Yeah.
Which I'm proud to say. We listened to it. That was good stuff. Thanks, guys, for the suggestion.
And it's not M.I.A. Do not call it M.I.A.
Yeah, right. Well, see, that's why I looked it up on the tablet when it first started. I was like, I have to make sure this is not going to be that. And then when I started seeing the lyrics, I went, oh, yeah, it's not that. And I put the tablet up. But yeah, so stupendous. Okay, so that was Avenged Sevenfold, M.I.A. I almost said it again.
Not M.I.A.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you know when new things are coming out. Of course, check out our merch. And we'll be posting up some new stuff. I think maybe we'll do another one in 2 days that's something different. And then we'll go back to Nightmare for a couple songs. And then, we'll do something different from there. So good. Talk to y'all later.